Bullshit.
7. He should have been throwing yards 7 yard. I mean 7. Yeah, 7 yards off. Throwing passes 7 yards off.
Oh, Cindy, bro.
Yeah,
Fuck
alright.
authorize that
Stop
shit.
Heard it all
playing.
before.
Stop playing the Cindy, bro.
Talking about throwing 7 yards off.
I got
You,
video of that shit. He
you
threw
got
that shit 7
motherfucking you got happy feet when you see niggas everybody else grabbing quarterback. Like, fuck that. I need me another cornerback right now.
I got video
I ain't gonna fuck
7
what you
yards
talking
off.
about.
Nigga was throwing that shit into the
Cap
stand.
show 2.
Oh,
1 year removed from a bowl and lost his job. Niggas ain't got no type of loyalty to their players. I know I don't. Niggas be out there. I be smooth sending niggas. Bye. See you later. Bye. Adios. Don't need your number. There's no loyalty to my players. Shit, you know how hard it was for me to go from 5 to 17 for.
I already know. That shit you think you to
It was
draft
hard
hard.
as hell. I wanted to keep my. Oh my god. So you know what? Let me back the fuck out of here. I gotta bust power moves to move around for next season. Fuck that.
That's why I got Malik Harvey, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I need some trade beat.
Let's see.
Got two superstar corners ain't playing for me.
I don't want that. I want motherfucking. Here we go. I need one.
I mean, two superstar corners, two superstar linemen. Like, you know what I'm
I keep turning incognito off.
saying? We got some chips over here, Matt.
Yeah, I told you to send Harvey. That's my guy.
You ain't gonna be what I need. I need to get in the top 10.
And we're at it. Once again, it's too hard not.
You can get him.
It's a hard not life in my league. It's a hard not life in my league. Cause motherfuckers, instead of we get kicked, it's a hard RDL. We left off, we talked about the AFC East. Max fell asleep in the middle of me talking about what's going on in the AFC East. We saw, some movement. We saw some good shit. We saw niggas literally sitting in this league letting motherfucking dogs, cutting dogs. Like, I don't understand it whatsoever, but that's what happened. And we saw them Buffalo Bills get a little bit stronger. Even again, just keep getting stronger over there. It's going to start a domino effect of niggas having to try to get stronger. You always learn this shit, figure it out, man. You can't have guys not, managing their team, sitting around letting motherfuckers walkie-talkies and not paying attention to it. Because the richer get richer. Richie rich. It's a hard not RDL. But I'm going right back into the diaper dandy shit, man. I apologize to the Browns. When we did the top 10 yesterday, we skipped who the Browns picked 9. So because of that, I'm going to start off with the AFC North and continue my conversations through the teams and what they look like into 2030-31 season. Where we at? 2030 season going into that 2031 draft. So let's get over here and look at the Browns roster right now and see where they went. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is Stanton is no longer on a Browns roster right now, man. Look, the guy made a splash, got them into the playoffs 2 out of 4 seasons, or 1 out of 4 seasons. I'm not sure. I think twice out of 4 seasons because he beat me in the 1 year wild card round, and went all the way to the AFC Championship actually. But the guy's no longer on that roster anymore, man. So it's like we're starting to see a trend of short-lived. How you say running back got a short lifespan in the NFL. It look like quarterbacks getting pushed out the door fast. What the fuck going on, man? Why is these quarterbacks getting pushed fast out the league? Like, some of them guys is making names for themselves and was playing at a high level. And just, one mistake and you got guys off in heads like the Giants coach did. Oh my God. But I'm not mad because Matt Corral, man, Ole Miss, the quarterback out there, Ole Miss, you know what I mean? Long Beach Poly, California kid. Went to the Cleveland Browns a couple years ago, and one thing I can tell you about the Cleveland Browns, though, Falky, is he does understand the red shirt system. This man drafted a tight end #1 overall, didn't play him for the whole year. Red shirted him, brought him out the next year, and it really worked out for him. So he kind of understands that. So we do have the new era, it's the Corral era in Cincinnati right now, man. They upgraded when it comes down to a quarterback that is a little bit more mobile. Very strong arm, very strong arm. Matt Corral always had. That was one of his key things that makes him a great quarterback, which is that cannon of an arm he got. But I think, with their system, they, I always tell y'all he has that Bill Walsh West Coast offense. But, he can move the pocket big time. A lot of rolling out. And making throws. You got to have a strong arm and a guy that can really get outside the pocket with his feet and make things happen. He's not going to be a guy that's going to rush for 1,000 yards, not one of those type of dual threat quarterbacks, but he's a guy that's going to extend plays with his legs. So I like Corral here at the quarterback spin, but it doesn't matter if I like him or not. It's the Corral era right now. They have to start over with this kid and really see what's going on. So there you go. He's the new starting quarterback now. He's the signal caller. He's QB1 for them. So that's their first move, first adjustment. We go there. We continue to go through this roster, man. Tony Moody is still the guy over there. Listen, they drafted the #1 running back in the first row draft class in Bryant Robinson Jr. from out of Alabama, and he hasn't taken the starting job yet. Look, sometimes you think, is a no-brainer. This guy goes to a team, and he's absolutely going to be the #1 running back. And then in free agency, they pick up a guy that, they brought in, wasn't planning on, if he was going to start or not. But he went so crazy in that year that he's keeping him on the bench right now, man. Fuck, what do you do if you Brian Robinson Jr., got drafted, planning on being a starter over here, and the guy they grab, in a trade, I'm sorry, not free agency, in a trade with the Lions, they bring in another running back, and that running back is keeping him off the field to be a full-time starter. He's playing at a high level.
Request for a trade.
A name like that, right?
Yeah, I will request for a trade.
Yeah. I mean, there's always nothing wrong with a two-back system at all. There's nothing wrong with it, but he got to get the carries, man. Let's see what he did last year. Because he redshirted year 1, he really ain't touched the ball. So you look at his rookie season, he only had 5 carries. On those 5 carries, he averaged 6.4. He got 51 carries last year. He did have 8 rushing touchdowns, averaging 5.6 yards a pop. Right now, 16 carries, 93 yards, 5.8 in game 1. Maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is the starter now. I mean, that's a lot of carries for a backup. Hell no. Motherfucker, 1693, 5.8. Down there, 6 yards to carry right now. Maybe he is the starter over there, man. Max, if you could find that out for me. Unless you jumped in your game already.
Yeah, I'm in game.
You in game already? Alright, we'll find that out in a second. But Brian Robinson Jr. got a couple of carries. I mean, Danner had 100 yards in his first attempt. Read that backwards. 50, the team bitch butt. What am I reading backwards? The team bitch butt. I don't know what the fuck you talk about, hoodie. Oh man. Alright, so I could say this. They are comfortable in their backfield. I even like the third string running back they got from Florida. And Damian Pierce, another big time back, power back too, 93 break tackles, 93 chucking. So they're solidified now. I would say, Corral has some guys in the backfield. He got a guy that can catch the ball really well out the backfield as well. And he got some guys that can run in between the tackles and get to that edge and do some things over there. All right, so Anthony Schwartz is 29 years old. Don't sorry, here we go. Just thank you shit. Sterling Noble, 27 years old.
Told you he's arrived.
Eric Horn, 26 years old. Did he get his receiver back? I know one of his receivers is on the Falcons roster. He's supposed to be
No, the
getting back.
Falcons read my message and didn't
And
fucking
just
say
ignore it.
anything.
I don't even worry about it. Eddie Holt, uh,
Another one bites the dust. Another
Jaden
one bites the
And,
Peyote,
dust.
and Dominique
and another
Blaylock.
one.
So they picked up two rookie
Oh,
runner receivers over here.
another one.
With good speed. In my opinion, I like the receiver room. They never had a real issue at the receiver room. They always had some guys over here that can get it done. So with Anthony Schwartz, getting on the tail end of his career at 29 years old right now. But the one thing they do have is legit speed in that wide receiver room. So they're solid there. We know what they did a couple years ago. Got Zach Wheatley, the number one tight end in that draft. They picked him number one overall. They got a solid backup and Oscar Gore, and then they picked up rookie Jalen Conyers from out of Arizona State, who's another serviceable, solid tight end. So they're three deep there. And he cut that wide receiver I was trying to sign him. He did cut him. The Niners, the Falcons got him on his roster. He ain't cut him. He cut him already?
Nah, last time I checked, the Falcons still had him
He
on the
probably
roster.
just cut him and ain't tell nobody. I don't know what this weird shit, all this weird shit going on. You'll see. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
And
offensive
another
line,
one.
31
No.
years old. They got Broderick Jones from out of Georgia. Georgia always sending dogs out of the draft right now. They got a nice left tackle to replace the 31-year-old. So I like that situation over here. We go look at this. Browns cutting Kenyon Green, Gerard Stanley. He said he ain't cutting. He mean to at least Kenyon Green. It was a lot of shit like that. You got that fucking linebacker that was still under contract. Don't know how he was in free agency. Boy, I'm on your ass over there too. Fuck you, get that nigga. Who gonna let a fucking 99 speed linebacker go? Anyway, Kenyon Green at left guard. So they're still solid on the offensive line. The one thing Corral is not going to be in a situation with is protection. He has that and he has the weapons. We just saw it from the tight ends all the way back down to the running back position. The Browns are solid there. They picked, so as I look through their draft picks, they got two good receivers in my opinion that can be roster fillers. I would think they will look for Jaden Peyote to take over for Schwartz. And Dominique Blaylock, got good size, 6'1", 205 from out of Georgia. He'll be, should see some playing time as well. Shit, he did cut him. I tried to sign him back out and saw that line. Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that last night on the show. All right, so they got the weapons. So the Browns got the weapons. Let's go see what they're doing on defense right now. All right, so Jarek Knox. This looks like a guy that was on somebody else's roster that they picked up. It looks like thought the Jaguars had him. I thought, might be wrong. Marcus Tillman's still on their roster. They had him since he got in the league. You're looking at Vince Strong. You got Tyrus Wheat. They got some good DNs right now. A couple of them with the superstar abilities on them. So they're solid there. Good size as well, man. Good size and strength with Vince Strong as well in his fifth season right now. D tackles, Rock Gray still here. They got Nicholas Amos still in the building. So they can go as much as 4 deep at the D tackle position as well. This is a managed roster. They got Jesse Batista. I remember when he first came in the league as a Falcon on normal. He's now up to a superstar with 91 speed, 91 excel in his 7th season. So they are right there. Nice little linebacker there. They got Derek Ryans. They picked up Trenton Simpson, though, from Clemson last year, man. Dog, 93 speed, 93 excel. They could do some things with him. Eugene Asante and then Tristan Sinclair all in that same draft class. So they got 3 legit linebackers. If it was a problem they had, it was at the linebacker position. They answered that bell real fast. So whether they did it through free agency trading or the draft, they answered that. But their number 1 pick overall was Akeem Dent. This is cornerback, 6'1", 205 from out of Florida State Falk. What are they getting with getting this guy? He was graded to be a second round pick. He goes in the first round, pick 9. Was he good enough to go there?
Lockdown corner. Yeah, of course. He was, definitely was. They getting a lockdown corner. Somebody that for the next 8 to 10 years can just take away the side of the field.
Mm-hmm. And they need him when Denzel Ward got up there in age. They lost a lot of their corners. Actually, they don't have none of the corners. The top 3 corners they had on their team, starting the disc off, and those guys are all, even the guy from Northwestern, they're all gone. So they got a whole new defensive back room. Brian Nichols, Sitting here at 5'11", he looks like he's the #1 corner right now. Akeem Dent is in the building. He should see starting time because he's better than any other corner on his roster. He's already a 90 overall. They got Kedrion Smith, Fred Davis. That's a name that everybody know from Real Draft. I think you made him famous, right, Max? 87
Yes,
overall,
sir.
95
Mr.
speed,
Fred.
94 excel. Jahari Rogers, another 1-year player, and then Josh Thompson in his second season. So they got a couple of real draft corners over here, but Dent is the guy. You go get yourself a guy that's a 90 overall right now. Falk is 100% right. They got themselves a guy that could take away one side of the field. All he has to do is get experience and better awareness and play rec, and you're dealing with a monster at that cornerback spot, especially at pick 9. That was a good steal. Raymond Riaz, he can play down in the sub package. At the same time, he's got really good speed. The better pair deep play safety at 6'4", 225 pounds. Tyson Anderson, another 6'2" guy, 95 speed, 95 excel at the safety position. So they're flying. The name of the game is speed. They are exactly that. Isaiah Sands out of Arizona State, 95, 94. Another guy that got speed. And Silas Green is here at 91 speed, 92. So you look at the Browns roster. This roster should be able to line up and compete with anybody in the league. It's all about, is this quarterback going to be good enough, now that he's the new signal caller, he's the QB1 over there, can he do more than what Stanton did for this team? And that would be my only question that I would have for this Browns team, because at this point they're in a good situation as far as rosters. Let's go look at the Bengals. The Bengals, see what the Bengals did overall, see where they at roster-wise. All right, so you're looking at Malik Willis is going to be in his 3rd year as a starter right now. We got to get him out of the red. They did have a coaching change over there. Coach Seahound comes in the league, take over the Bengals. It looks like the Bengals coach will be moving on to another team. Skadines will have that report sometime tomorrow. See what team that guy is going to. But he does have a couple of interviews for the head coaching job in this league still. So we'll see how that works out. But now Malik Willis is over here. They got a coach that's going to come over here and play with him. And we'll see what happens with the Malik Willis show right now. He's going to be in his 3rd season. He has all the tools to be a good one. The running back room, they picked up Blake Corum from Michigan. Falk. Oh, my God. That was a hard decision. E.J. Smith or Blake Corum. That's how it was for me. I took E.J. Smith instead of him. He went to the Bengals, and I think, at 29 years old, their starting running back is getting up there in age. You need a guy to come back him up, or even to take over the starting job. I think they do have it with Blake Corum. When he unlocks to a superstar, and they got a guy that can run, hit the home run. He can run in between the tackles. He can catch very well out the backfield. And he's a really good elusive running back. So I like this. I like that pickup for them. Continue to look at that receiver room. You got to see Randy Moss Johnson. Winters is still here. St. Anthony's is still here. Zay Flowers is still here. They picked up Xavier Worthy. I got to see what round he went in, bro. I mean, it was some dog running backs that were 1st round talent and had like top 15 talent and didn't go in the 1st round at all. Pick, all right, 2nd round, pick 8. Marvin Harrison was the #1 receiver in the draft. This was the #2. Both of them went in the 2nd round. Fought.
Mm.
1st round talent receivers dropped to the 2nd round. So let me ask you this: the guys that got them in the 2nd round, got players like this in the 2nd round. Are they steals, or just this was the year where the receivers, I don't know. It was weird with receivers that did go in the 1st round compared to these guys.
Yeah, they was. I think this was just a year, man. I think everybody had nobody. I don't think had a failing grade. Right.
I definitely think everybody did their thing draft wise though. But I like this. You got a 6'1", 173 now. A little light in the ass. I think Max called it out. He said, you're looking at a Devontae Smith. Falk, you played with him in real draft 5. Not really big on weight, but a technician at what he do. With the speed and the strength of this league, Xavier Worthy, 6'1", 173, but he got everything you need for a receiver to be successful in this league. 97 speed, 97 excel. We just start there. He's a speed demon. You're looking at a 4.2 guy. Special catch at 95, and all his core attributes is high, 90, 88, 85. So he's very, very, very good. in a room where you got at least two guys that's getting up there in age. You got a guy that if he's not the guy this year, or crack the starting lineup right away, or even be the number one or two, he's a guy that will be in a situation where he's going to be the new face of this Bengals offense eventually. With Malik Willis, I think that's going to be his number one target eventually. He has all the tools to be, legit. Um, Cordova, the tight end, is still here at 29 years old. They did get Davis Allen last year, and they got Stanley Preston 2 years ago. So they all right, cool. They're at the tight end position. You go through the offensive line, you're dealing with Eric Boyce. You still got Fat Boy Jaron Broly still here, 29 years old. You're looking at another, got to get better at the center position. I will say that. Right guard, we're looking at the right guard. Wayne Moore's 1 year in, 89 overall, still a superstar, so he got more work to do. And then J.J. Ramsey, 94 overall. I do think they should address the offensive line a little further, whether they do it through trade, but they got to get to it. You got to, at this point, you should be having superstars all over your line. Especially in the draft where guys barely touch the offensive line. You've seen dog offensive linemen going super late in this draft, last night's draft. Dallas Turner, though, they got the best pass rusher in the game. He's coming off the edge, Alabama. He's the best from that draft class. He's sitting here with a 91 overall, 93 speed, 93 excel. Not even just that. 93 agility, 93 change of direction. The guy has 88 blocks, 89 finesse moves, 85 power moves. He's going to get to it and get after it. I like it. Like it big time over here. They got themselves a guy to complement the Asian Jose Cuervo, right, at 30 years old. Another speed guy, man. You got two guys coming off the edge with 90 plus speed. So they should cause havoc, especially in the division they in, when they got some speed at the quarterback positions all over this division. So, they got guys off the edge that can keep contained and keep guys from running around them. At the D tackle spot, still waiting to break out Perry Winfrey, second year in, 90 overall, 80 speed, 80 excel, 6'4", 300 pounds. Solid right there. Another guy. So they got their D tackles out of the real draft class last year. In the first draft, real draft class. So, they just got to continue to develop. You get a guy really playing games with this team, they can get these guys developed and really have something with them. So I like that. What I'm seeing right now, I'm still looking at where they went in the draft. Will Anderson came from Alabama last year. They pick up their other outside, pretty much outside linebacker, defensive end, and Dallas Turner. So that's two drafts in a row with their first round top 10 pick. They go get Alabama players, both of them edge rushers. Will Anderson, and he had a great season last year. He's already up to a 94 overall at 21 years old. 94 speed, 93 excel. We like it. 90 change of direct. You're already a dog. Really already a dog. So now you get two guys coming off the edge over there with two down linemen, and then you got this kid at the outside linebacker spot. They look like they're building something over here, man. Braxton Hawkins at the linebacker. They pick up James Skolaski from Clemson in the first real draft class. So man, you want to see some abilities over here at the linebacker level, but they do got some guys that's in development mode over here. All right, Evan Ware, he's been pretty solid for them for 7 seasons. He's 28 years old, 99 overall, 89 speed, 92 excel at the right outside linebacker. And then Orlando Hardwick, 3 years in as well, 6'4", 242, 88 speed, 89 excel. Knock it off, you fuckers. Little fucking badass cats. All right, Alex Cameron, 28-year-old at the cornerback position. They got Terrence Wooten, 6'3", 197. Another guy, Florida State, 96 speed, 97 excel. This is probably going to be their next guy up to be the number one corner on this team. You got Cedric Banks, Christian Williams from last year's draft. You got Demore Tate, though. They get another Florida State corner right here, so we like that. Al Allen as well, 85, 93 speed, 93 excel. I think Demore Tate should be in the starting lineup right now. Like, he should be on the field playing for this team right now, and I would line him up with Wooten. And then you got two Florida State corners on your edges and some guys that could play in the slot. And I would probably rock out with Christian Williams at 6'1", 182, 94 speed, 95 excel. Let's look at the safety position, see where we finish out at. Derek McKee. You would like to see them get a little faster at the safety position and somebody with ability. Smoochie Wiley is still always, 28 years old. He was the man. But they picked up R.J. Mickens, 91 speed, 91 excel out of Clemson. What are they getting with him? Star. So they got some development situations over here, but that's what happens. You know, you got a team that needs to be built. They need to get stronger on the front seven. I thought they did exactly that. Um, and they just gotta continue to develop this team, and you know, the most part is playing games and developing your team. But the Bengals, they still got some ways to go. I don't think they're, you know, the cream of the crop in this division, but they're in a situation where you see improvement on that roster, and you start to see, um, you know, it's some help over there. So if I'm a coach that come into this roster, I'm looking at this roster. I know I gotta bring my class in, my first class in myself. But what I have right now doesn't scare me away. I think I can find some guys that's gonna move forward with this coaching staff and what they trying to do. And that's the Bengals, them Bongos, them Bongos. The next team up, we gotta go to the motherfucking Steelers, man. See the Steelers at, man. See the Steelers at, man. All right, here we go. Quarterback position. All right, before the Steelers had to go on vacation last year, Wise Montana was really he had this team above 500 and they were playing pretty well. So we think we're going to continue to see him grow. He's only 26 years old. They're in a good situation. But Herschel Walker Jr., you have help in the backfield now. You got a guy that comes in with your speed right now. They get Travion Henderson out of Ohio State. He goes in the top of the draft. We love it. First of all, what pick was he again? The Steelers ain't. Did they have a? I don't think they had a top 10. It's a hard not life. Pick 13, man. All right, you know it's two. It was two running backs in this draft that I thought would go in the first round. I think both of them did go in the first round, and he's one of them. And when you get with him, you get a guy that really has really good vision and can hit the home run from anywhere on the field. I like it, and I honestly think that he plays for this team. He will be the starting running back. I know Herschel's only 24 with a 97 overall grade, but Henderson comes in 90 overall right now with the same speed and bigger upside. So I'm getting him the ball early and often as a starter for this team. I'm not saying you go away from Herschel Walker, but you got to get Henderson going right now. You can't wait for him. He's already ready to go, so you got to get it going. And honestly, if you look at their attributes, you know, the awareness is the one thing you look at that's different. One is 79, the other one's 62. But the 79 ain't threshold at all. And then you look at their core stats, you know, there's really, you know, no too much of a separation there. They really, you know, when it comes down to carrying the ball, Herschel's at a 96 with the green arrows up. Travion Henderson's at 89. But look, ball carrying vision, Henderson has a 95 over the 88. Break tackles, Herschel's at 90, but so Henderson's at 85. Trucking at 85 as well. That's even. So I think this kid could just, you know, could cut into some time and Herschel Walker. They could do some things. I like it big time. So let's see where they still at the receivers. Artie Rice, Pierce, Palmer, and Luka. So they have no receiver left on their roster. Where my boy Dwight Coney went. So when they took this team over, they came into it with good receivers already. There's not a receiver from that team, you know, from the year he came over and took this team on his roster anymore. So this is how you turn over a roster and make it your own. And now making it their own, they got 6'5" Artie Rice. We love him. 6'5" with 96 speed, 97 excel, 96 special catch. You got Alec Pierce, 6'2", 208 from out of Cincinnati. He ran a really good 40. And look at him, 98 speed, 98 excel. So and then they get Trey Palmer, another speed demon, 6'3", 219, 95 speed, 96 excel. And then you got the guy that made the Pro Bowl last year in Puka Nusiwa, who, you know, comes off the practice squad and becomes, you know, a very much impact player. When I played the Steelers, this guy really caught a lot of passes. He's a legit slot receiver for this team, so they solid. They still got Sharp over here at the tight end. He's a monster. You can't play him one-on-one. And Crawford right behind him that still can play at a high level at 28 years old. Look at their offensive line. You know, Rudy Whitehead still is going to get that starting job. At left guard, you're still looking at Tom Moore. He'll get that starting job at the center position. Calvin Foster's there. Aaron Frost is there in the second season, 86 overall with a superstar. So it look like he might be the guy at guard, or do they got somebody else they could bring in? You got Greg Patterson, and then Tyrese Barnes, who's 27 years old, on superstar. So somebody getting kicked down to the guard. The other one going to play tackle, in my opinion. And they still got a little bit of work to do on that line, but we like it. Kayvon Thibodeau went to this team 2 years ago. He's there. You got Ty Gleason and other guys, so they got two superstar left ends. On the right side of things, they got P.J. Leonard, who's been a monster for this team, but they also pick up Fred Diggs. Looks like they got him out of free agency. He played for the Saints. 87 speed, 92 excel, 28 but 94 overall with a star. So they're solid there. We like it. They got good DNs, good pass rush. The Steelers, this Blitzburg Steelers, they need guys up front to get to the quarterback and just be disruptive in the run game. Jordan Williams is at the top of the class, from D tackles when it comes down to like 10 to 15. He'll be somewhere in that range, 10 to 15 in this league right now, so he's solid. Devin, you want to say Davin, whatever you want to say. There you go, at D tackle right there. So they got one in their rookie class, and then Deion Weathers is here. All right, so you look at the outside linebackers, Nakobe Dean. They really tore that draft up on defense for the first two row drafts. But Nakobe Dean's here. Look at the speed on him. He's solid. Then you got a 27-year-old in Aquario. And then you got Jawan Kent sitting here as a backup as well. So they good there too. Middle linebacker Deshaun Moody, 91 speed, 91 excel, 26. They're young there. Brian Asamoah from Oklahoma, good speed, 90 excel. So we like that. And they got their third linebacker, pretty solid. Lucas Carney, 91 speed, 92 excel. They got the linebacker room that can run with some of these dual threat quarterbacks in their division. Solid. Cornerback position, Rudy McDaniels, 25, solid, 93 overall. You got Julian Barnett out of Memphis, 6'2", last year's draft. Good speed. Let me look at his coverage. Man coverage 80, zone 78, 83. He's still in development mode, but he got good size, and he really got good speed with that size. You got Woody Washington from out of Oklahoma, 5'11", 175. He has really legit speed, but still development mode. Got to get better. This is where they addressed the cornerback room, but they're going to have to develop these guys because they did address it with Ramon Henderson out of Notre Dame, 6'3", 193. Solid. We got to fix that zone. Remind me to fix his zone. Is only a 57. It's supposed to be a 75. Jalen Perry out of Michigan, another one of those guys. So they got some guys they can bring into their future. They just have to sit here and get the development stage on. So it's going to be tough. They're going to need that front seven to really get to the passing game. They're going to have to put pressure on the quarterbacks because on the back end they're young and they got to really get it together. They got good talent. They just got to get it developed over there. At the safety position, Jamie Robinson from last year is my guy, and they still got Sergio Hancock and Smoke Monday they got from the Cowboys in the trade couple last season. So solid there. Free safety Isaiah Pitts is still in the building at 27 years old, 93 overall. X factor with 95 speed, 96 acceleration. We like it. We like it a lot. We like it a lot. So a lot of development got going in the secondary, but other than that, they're on the right path, especially with the talent they get. And they addressed that defense 2 drafts in a row, and it's going to pay off in another year or two. So shout out to the Steelers and what they did. Now you get to these Baltimore Ravens. All right, so as they continue to ride out with Anthony Iverson, still got Jaden Daniels as the number 2. At the running back position, J.C. Fields was traded to the Jets. Casey Fields was kept. Where everybody thought they would stay with J.C. Fields, being he was 24 years old and Casey's 28. But they kept the veteran on this team, Casey Fields. Jamari Gibbs last year had 2,000 yards rushing. He was really, really a good diaper dandy for these guys. They bring back Nefi Anderson to play special teams for them. They brought back their Pro Bowl punt returner and kick returner that they let go. They brought him back in a trade with J.C. Fields with the Jets. They also picked up E.J. Smith, Emmett's son, who's going to be a dog at the receiver position out the backfield for this team. So they got different type of running backs. You got a power back with speed. You got one of the most elusive backs in the league in Jamari Gibbs. Punt returner, kick returner, special teams guy with Nefi Anderson, and then E.J. Smith gives you a little bit of everything. He can break tackles. He can run in between the tackle. You're going to get glimpses of his dad, but then he does a little bit different thing that his dad did good, but he does it great, which is catch the ball out the backfield. So, the moment he unlocked, they can get some passing things on him and use him third down situations. At the receiver room, Jello Griffin is no longer on this team. He's playing in Detroit. but they already was solid there. Tion Pitts is there. You got Jameson Williams, who had a great year last year. George Pickens is going to be asked to step up this year, especially getting rid of Griffin. We need a guy that either going to play the number 1, 2 position for us over here, and we're looking for him to be that guy. So it's his turn. They also traded for Jordan Addison last year at the end of the draft with the Chargers. So they really like him as a slot receiver. Then they drafted 2 more receivers. They got an HBCU, one of the best receivers in HBCU that Akil Glass threw to for 2-3 seasons straight. Right, and they got Abdul Fattah Ibrahim, or Ibrahim, however you want to say it. Solid, 6'2", 190, 97 special catch speed, 96. Then they pick up Quentin Johnston from TCU, 2 receivers. I don't know if these guys, are they going to be here by the time the season is over with, but they got 2 dog rookies that they drafted, both superstars, to go along with what they already had on this roster. Tighter position, you already know what they got. DW, Washington, and Gamble still there. Offensive line is straight. Rick Santiago, 26, 99 overall at this point. Ben Grubbs, 24. Still got Kent Cardell Thomas, we drafted last year. And then Ja'Kai Moore from last year's draft as well. At the center position, Marshall Yonder still there starting. He has a starting job. And then old man Pat Falk at 28 is still the best offensive lineman in the league right now. And his backup is Keandre Jones from out of Auburn. So they solid there. Right tackle, Kawhi candidate, and then they looking to trade Howie Montgomery. So if you're looking for a superstar right tackle, come see us. We got a couple of linemen we're willing to let go. So they're solid at the offensive line. Now you get to the defensive side of things. These guys are nuts over there. Peter Boulware, he just came off a 6-sack performance. At 28 years old, though, he's getting a little up there age-wise right now, but he's playing at a high level still. Nolan Smith still waiting to crack that starting lineup right now. He plays a lot of rush defense, third downs, things like that. Antoine Owens from Jackson State, he can be either a D tackle or defense end. We're still, learning the ropes for him right now. He's a little bit behind schedule, but when asked to play, he does a good job for us, but we know he's still in development stage. The right side of things, you're looking at Keyshawn Peppers and Xavier Thomas. Xavier will crack the lineup this year where he'll be getting playing time in a lot of run formations where he'll see the field. The Ravens do a really good job of rotating their front 4 and getting these guys active and, not being burnt out and tired. These guys are always fresh because they got multiple guys that can get it done. At the D tackle spot, they did pick up Stackhouse in the draft. Nasir Stackhouse got, getting bigger, 6'4", 330. You got to get you a guy to replace the guy, right? We know Brian Breezy was that guy last year to really replace Mincy. We traded Mincy to the Lions, and it was the Saragusa show. But he's 28 years old, so, drafting the D-tackle was important, and we did exactly that. We got us the winner at 2, 87 overall. So he'll redshirt this year. He won't see the field at all, and it'll be the Saragusa and Brise show. At outside linebacker, Jimmy Voorhees, getting 27 years old in his 6th season, played really well for this team. He's playing well enough to keep Adam Anderson off the field because he's yet to really get significant playing time yet. But he spent 2 years redshirting, so this year we plan on playing him a lot more. But we know we can go too deep at that position. At the middle linebacker spot, Ray Lewis, 28, and Deron Adams. We're not concerned about the 28-year-old and Ray Lewis because Juggy Seau can play middle linebacker or outside linebacker. So we're good there. And we 3 deep at the right outside linebacker where Tom Fox was on the block. So if you're looking for an outside linebacker, we got a 6'4", 260 guy just waiting to go play for somebody else. Darian Beavers, we like this kid out of Cincinnati. He spent 2 years redshirting as well. We will, in special teams, so we will see, what he can do in some formations and package subbing to see what he could do for us. And then we had to clean up the cornerback room that's loaded. All right, so Anthony Israel's 28. He was the best corner in the league for the last 2 years. I think he's the number 1 corner in the league. However, he started to drop. Thank God he had 17 motherfucking upgrade points waiting because they were building right back up. Bobby Teller stepped into his own zone last year as the slot corner, playing slot and shutting down, the slot receivers. He did a really good job. Steve Israel still here. Adam Anderson plays a lot more safety and slot corner than he does at the corner. Remember, he's a tweener, so he can play both ways, anywhere in the secondary, actually. He can play corner, safety. And we do a big job in our dime and nickel packages having him back at the safety position. Derek Stingley is now starting You know, last year, his freshman year, rookie year, he had 9 interceptions. Last year, he played, you know, a little bit of everything. Slot corner, the one, the two. He just played. Right now, he's starting to really get into his groove of being the replacement for Anthony Israel. We picked up Jalen Jones in the second round for one reason. He plays safety and corner. He's a tweener. We know we can move him around and do some things with him. Um, then at the safety position, we traded Ed Reed, right? But we traded Ed Reed so we can go get a guy like this, Ryan Watts, another one of those guys that played safety at Ohio State, and now he's the starting corner for Texas in real life. And we know we can move him around. And this guy gives us that Solo Savage feel, where Solo Savage made a name for himself, and I don't understand why guys didn't see the success of Solo Savage being able to play corner, slot, free safety, strong safety, or even sub linebacker because he's 6'4", 215. So we got a guy that can do all that now. Now he don't have the speed of Solo, but the plan is to get him in development and see what happens where we can move this guy around, where you're in a league where you need to be able to have these type of matchups. And just taking the page off the Dallas Cowboys book, we thought this was important to get a guy that can move all around in your secondary and damn near at the linebacker level. So solid there. At the strong safety, we still dealing with Ron Israel, and we traded for James Williams. So we gave up our number one pick at 17, which was Tyreek Cave Austin, Ed Reed, and then the backup quarterback to get James Williams. Now Ron can go back to his natural position, which is the sub package, and we're going to groom James Williams to play back deep and do some things back on the back end. That's the Baltimore Ravens. That's the AFC North right now. Still look like the Ravens are the team in this division. But the Browns are right there. I think, if there's a team that can really, run them for their money, it is the Browns roster. Other than that, we still see the Bengals and the Steelers are still in development mode. They got the pieces, but still in development mode, with the Bengals being more, still have to go grab some guys. So that's the AFC North. You heard?
Bowers, bitch.
Tomorrow we'll come back on and talk about more divisions. I'm not going to just do one division every night. We're going to talk about the NFC, and we're going to close out the whole NFC tomorrow during lunchtime special. So other than that, holla at me on a holla at tip. Or you heard?